Lords, I rise with pleasure to follow the noble lady Baroness Coffey, who both signed the amendment originally in the name of my noble friend Baroness Jones of Moulscombe, who's currently on medical leave, and did an able, if unexpected, job of introducing this now group of amendments. Before I get on to this, I feel like after the end of our last discussion, I should declare my position as Vice President of the Local Government Association, since the debate went in that direction. And I will also declare that I perhaps have a personal qualification to speak in this area of the bill that I wasn't otherwise engaged in, since I can also, like the noble Lord Lansley and others, dust off my veteran of the Levelling Up and Regeneration Bill going back in the day. But to speak to the specific details about this amendment, it's talking about ensuring that the density of housing development and the effective use of land. And my noble friend Baroness Jones of Moulscombe has personal experience of this as a London Assembly member. And what we actually saw with what happened in London was the mayor was given the power to actually ensure greater density of particularly housing, and that had demonstrable positive impacts in terms of London. And if you go back to 1961, the very famous theorist Jane Jacobs, in her book The Death and Life of Great American Cities, said that one of the key things that help cities to thrive is a sufficiently dense concentration of people, particularly a sufficiently dense concentration of housing. And we've gradually seen this being pushed forward. And of course we are, as we saw in London, going back to something we knew before. Georgian squares in London actually have a greater density of housing than many modern developments, and they're great places for people to live. What we're talking about is quality and density together have excellent incomes, and this amendment, in this really important part of the bill, as the noble lady Baroness Coffey just said, it brings that forward. So I'm hoping against hope at this stage we might hear something positive from the Minister. And I'm just going to say one sentence on Amendment 224. I would have signed it had I noticed it in the name of the noble lady Baroness Hodson. VAT costs and buildings. And I'm just going to cross-reference the amendment I had earlier about embodied carbon and how much, because of our tax and VAT rules, we are actually producing so much carbon emissions in the destruction of buildings in embodied carbon.